आवहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम नमः शिवाय। So with the samyama, yogi can have many extraordinary abilities. So with senses, sense organs and mind, this samyama can give mind a state where mind is fully active and it can sense all the objects wherever it is concentrated. And the gross level of object and the subtle level of object and even the subtlest form, like Prakriti we call it. So in this way, this mind of yogi who has this samyama, the mind is omni-objective. It can receive all the objects which is just entering to that. It's like a focused camera for outside objects. Always the focus is on, so it catches the object as it is. And then related to mental objects, like what we see in the mind as objects, those can be converted into gross objects, because the energy created, the electromagnetic waves created in the brain of this yogi is activating the electromagnetism outside. It means, like yesterday we discussed about this, there is a theory, it says no electromagnetic field is separated from the cosmic electromagnetism. It has some connection. It is one actually. So with the quantum theory also, the mind of this yogi is a quanta, it's a part of quantum. And when something happens in this mind, it can be reflected in the universe as whole. So this, if we understand, only we can find some solution, some answer for this phenomena, what is happening with the yogis. And not only yogis, actually, the normal life also, we have these abilities, very low level, very little we have. That when we proceed here, we will understand that. It means, here Patanjali is showing us, mind has that ability, we are not identifying it. If we identify the ability and improve it, make it more strengthened, then it is possible. That is the option he is giving here. So we saw the 17th sutra, where the Sarva Bhuta Rudajnanam, the language of all creatures, living beings, you can understand that language. Because the separation of word and its meanings and the idea is the meditation there. So he is applying samyama, that the meditation state of mind, into this, the language we speak, and then analyzing it, he is separating the meaning and the idea and the word. So this we can practice. Yesterday I told you, when we listen to somebody speaking, so try to understand his mind. The words may be something different. You just concentrate what he mean to say. Normally we do that. So when we are not getting the words correctly, if he is not speaking the correct language of communication, then we do that. We try to understand the intention, what he wants to say. So practice this, then you will understand the difference. And for that, first you must analyze your own thoughts, how these thoughts are connected to the words, Shabda and Artha. So now we combined it. It is very difficult for us to separate it. So whenever we try to separate, it is not happening. Actually, this is also this tendency is there in mind. It can do that. Like sometimes we remember word but not the object. And sometimes we remember the object, not the name of that object. It is happening always, it is happening. So this is the separation there. When you meditate on that, you enter into the mind of the speaker who is producing the sound. So this way, it is possible that you can understand the other scriptures' language. So now the next sutra is connected with samskaras. Samskara sakshatkaranat purvajadi jnanam. Samskara sakshatkaranat. When you perceive samskara, the perceptions of samskara, the habitual impressions in your mind, the samskara sakshatkaranat purva jadi jnanam. You know the previous birth. Purva jadi means, purva means previous, birth means jadi. So you know the previous birth. This we already discussed this theory. Every thought, every action is connected to samskaras. We cannot see samskaras directly because samskaras are in unmanifested form. So when we see an action, we can infer the gradual development of the action. If somebody is saying something against you, or he or she is not liking you, so then you can imagine there is some reason for that. So you try to understand why it is happening. Because his words or the action shows that there is something hidden, underlying in his mind. So we try to understand, we think step by step from where it came, why it is so, why he is using like that, why he is not liking me. So when we think, sometimes we come across the correct reason. So the action shows the cause behind it. And if somebody liking you, that is also the same. There will be some reason, some cause for that. So how we understand this? This is the step-by-step process of knowing samskaras. When one thought arises in your mind, you take it and just keep that thought as an object and try to analyze it. From where it is formed, why it is coming. So then you know there is some previous intention. Previous connection is there. So from that it develops. So seeing a child's action, we can say what is his tendencies are. The habits and tendencies and skills are always unknown. They are not clear. If somebody has some skill, you know when he is in action, you know that he has this skill. Otherwise, it is impossible to understand what is somebody is having the skill or not. The skill also connected to samskaras. So this way, take each thought and understand, then the previous thought or previous action is the cause of this action. That is the way how we get into the level of samskaras. You know the definition of samskaras. Now, here one more point is mentioned. So here the theory of karma is also there. one karma is fructifying in such and such way, we know this karma is connected to previous karma. Like now you are interested in studying Yoga Sutra, so you came here to study Yoga Sutra. This is an action. And why it happened? Because you heard about Yoga Sutra somewhere before. When you studied, when you were in TTC course or ATTC course, or even before that, you heard about Yoga Sutra. To hearing Yoga Sutra, you are interested to know about it, and when you got the chance, you arranged the study there. So now, this is a prarabdha, we can say this is a fructifying karma, that you had some connection, so now it developed into the action, now this is happening. So you are studying it. Now, in the world, many maybe know about these Yoga Sutras. They know what is Yoga Sutra, the name or whatever, in some way they know. But they are all not interested to study or practice. Only selected people are interested, and among them, very few practice it. So now we have to say some reason for that. So this is a fructifying karma which is giving the result, is connected to your karma, that is the prarabdha. So you happen to be there in TTC or ATTC, so you happen to know that, then now you are here. So this is one part of the action, that is connected with prarabdha. And other part of that is connected with free will. So we have some free will that with that we work. Although we know many things, we are not taking action on those things. We have the chance to choose one of them and act on that. So this is connected to Purushartha. Now, when both are together, you know when one action is giving the fruit, where it is going to end. You know that the starting point and the ending point. I started this is going to end in this way. So each karma is interconnected, but even then each karma has different time to fructify. It completes within time. So the completion of karma is calculated by seeing the characteristics of karma. So this is connected to samskaras. So the body is also having that, this body, this may live up to 100 years maximum. Maximum 100 years. So this is, a karma is fructifying now. Its changes are there. So it is going to be like this. So this way, when you analyze the prarabdhas, the fructifying karmas, one by one, then we go back to the samskaras and then understand three of them, that the developments, dharma, lakshana, parinamas. Dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinamas. So when you know this transformation and modification of the same karma, you know from where it is coming, why it is coming. If somebody is speaking on some subject, you are newly hearing the person, but hearing him, you know that he already studied or he has some background related to this particular subject. So for you, he is new. First time you are listening from him. But hearing that, you imagine that he has some background related to this. This is normal life, very simple thing what we do. And how it is happening? Now that action, what he is speaking about is an action. And you are listening, that is also action. But that with that, you infer his background. So that will be 90% correct. So without that it is not possible. So same thing happens here also. So when you see your own thoughts, you can understand what is there in your mind, from where it is coming. One of our Puranas, like Garuda Purana, Markandeya Puranas, they all describe these things. If you have this life, how it is here in this form. It's connected to previous karmas. Why you have this mind? Not because of your parents, because parents cannot give you the brain, the mind. They are giving only, they are supporting the body, the production of the body. They become instrument for that. But mind is something else. So this is all connected to samskaras. So samskara sakshat karanat purva jadi jnanam. Here in this Vyasa Bhashya, he quotes a beautiful story of the famous yogi Jagishavya. I already told you about him. He is famous in Mahabharata. He was a eminent Sankhya Acharya and yogi. So there is a conversation between Jagishavya and Avatya, so another yogi. So he is asking Jagishavya, "O Jagishavya, you have seen many births. Now you become a yogi, but after many births, bahunam janmanam ante." Like Buddha also said of his previous birth, he could see. And the stories of, we say Jataka Kathas, stories of Jatas. Jata means birth, previous birth of Sri Buddha. And in Gita, Bhagavan also says, I had many births. I know all of them, but O Arjuna, you don't know them. Bahuni vetitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. So it's the same thing here. So Avati asked the Jagishavya, what you experienced in all these births? What was the speciality of that? He says, I went to this life, that life, many life, and I was there as gods in the heaven and sometimes in the earth. It was good, beautiful. Then he asked, then what is the result of that? He said, whatever I experienced, the happiness, what I experienced is very little of, if compared to this birth. This birth means now he is a yogi. He says that I am enjoying this very much more than any other births. So that shows, the story shows that he had this connection with all the births. So he is counting them and telling the story. So this is Purva Jadi Jnanam. The possibility is there in your mind also. So you can also do this by taking samskara into concentration. The next thing is knowing others' mind. This is something very practical and it's useful for us. Pratyayasya parachitta jnanam Pratyayasya parachitta jnanam. Pratyaya means on concentrating on the present knowledge, present thought of the mind. Pratyayasya. Parachitta jnanam. You know others' mind, what the person thinks. So this is normally we do. When somebody says something, we try to understand the mind of that person. So with the words we know. The words here connected to pratyayas. So this is the first result, first siddhi you get after your meditation. This is very simple. Because normally we have this tendency, some development, you try to understand the mind of the other person. So when you do samyama and when you understand your own mind, you understand others' mind. First we have to understand our own mind, the thought process, how the thoughts are formed, how emotions are connected to the thoughts, how we react. If you understand everything, then you know the other's mind. But the same thing happens there also. The thoughts are formed the same way as your thoughts are formed, and the emotions are connected to the thoughts, same. So you understand yourself, then you understand others. So this is a normal thing. We can practice this, concentrating on that. Sometimes what happens, after many years living together, 24 hours living together, they don't understand each other. It's also there. Because they are not interested to understand each other's mind. Only people are interested in reactions. They don't see from where the reactions are coming. They don't try to see the subconscious level of the reaction. So if somebody is happy, seemingly happy, you think he is happy or she is happy. Actually not. That person may be having pain inside, but outside he is showing he is happy. So it is possible. In this way, we have to meditate a little bit, take seriously and meditate on that. Then you know others' mind, when you apply the mind there. So, pratyayasya parachitta jnanam. Now, when he understands the mind of others, here he is adding one more sutra related to this. He understands now this person is having this emotion, with this emotion he is saying this. But sometimes he is unable to understand why this emotion is there. The cause of that emotion is not the object of concentration here. So he will not understand the object of object of the emotion. Like somebody is angry with you. His or her words or the gestures shows that person is angry with you. Now you know that anger is there in his mind. So you see the anger there. But you don't know by which cause, from where it came, the reason behind it. If you want to know the reason behind it, again you have to do another meditation for that. That is why he is saying here, these two different things. You are seeing the anger, but not the reason for the anger. Then you have to meditate again on that, then you will get it. So that is the next sutra. न च तत्सालम्बनं तस्य विषयीभूतत्वाद् So natat salambanam, that parachitta jnanam, knowing others' mind, the knowledge of others' mind, now what he got at present. Natat salambanam, that is not with the object. Why? Tasya vishayi bhutatvat. Because that object was not the object of yogi's meditation. He was not interested to concentrate on that. Only he focused on the emotion there, not the object. If he wants to understand the object, again you have to do another concentration. Here what we see is, Patanjali is very accurate to deal with these things. He is not exaggerating anything. He could say this same thing in previous sutra. Because once you know everything. No, there is a separation. Because the object is something else and the emotion is something else. That is why he is separating it. Sometimes the object is there, but the emotion is not formed. The object of anger may be there in your mind, but the anger is not formed. You are not angry with that. So there is a separation. It means there was the direct experience. Otherwise, he will not say this. Pratyasya parachitta jnanam, and that parachitta jnanam is without object. Only you know the mind of the person, but not the object. Object is behind that. So you have to meditate again on that. Then you know why he is angry. So, natat salambanam tasya avishayi bhutatva. It is not objectified. It is not the object of samyama, avishayin, not being the object of samyama, so he doesn't understand that. So this is the parachitta jnana. So whenever we think about others' mind, we are connecting others' mind with our own mind. The formula is within our mind. And we know how our mind is working. After angry, what we do, we know that. And how the anger is formed, that also we know. The emotion behind the anger. So when we think about others' mind, actually we are applying our own mind into other person. So the comparison is happening there. So this comparison is its comparison will give result if your mind is clear. Otherwise, no. In the clear means you know exactly what is happening in your mind. That is the clarity there. That mind is not disturbed. It is concentrated. Then it is possible. Otherwise, if you use the logic there, then it may not work. Here the logic is not working. Logic is something else. If you use the logic here, you will not know others' mind, thoughts. This is connected to the direct experience of our own mind. And when we are relaxed, then we know this is happening in our mind. Similarly, we know others' mind, that what is happening in others' mind. When we are relaxed, we are not using logic here. So then comes the next one, that is disappearing. This is something wonderful. Kaya Rupa Samyama Tadgrahya Shakti Sthambe Chakshu Prakasha Samprayoge Andardhanam. Andardhanam means disappearance. One can disappear by doing samyama on this. Now here he is giving the process of vision, process of perceiving the object, and then how it is possible. The sadhana is also there. So kaya rupa samyamat. You do samyama on the rupa, the shape, the color of the body. Kaya rupa samyama. Kaya is body, rupa means the shape or color of the body. So when you do that, tad grahya shakti sthambe. The grahya shakti, the reflecting energy, will be stilled, sthambe, blocked, obstructed. That reflection is obstructed now. Tad grahya shakti sthambe. And then chakshu prakasha asamprayoge. There we have to add one asamprayoge, prakasha asamprayoge. One danda there. So chakshu prakasha asamprayoge. The stopping the light refraction of body and the eye. This is the process how we see the object. The chakshu prakasha asamprayoge. That is disconnected. Now in this sutra, it is condensed with the sadhana and the process how you see objects. In those days, it was clear for the yogis. They knew how we see the objects. The whole process is there. So how we see the objects, we know from science, we study in the schools itself. When the light is reflected on objects, the lens of our eyes take the reflection inside retina, where the focus point is there. It goes inside retina. There is the nerves, the sensational nerves called optical nerves. So this optical nerves receives the sensation of light with its color. Actually, color and everything is decided by brain, but this sensation goes to visual cortex part of the brain. First enter there, then the process happens there, then you identify this object as this. So you know this process. So now, here there are two parts. He is using both the parts. One part is the object is reflected by the light. The light is reflected on object and that reflection is received here. This is totally physical part of that. Physically we can understand the light is reflected on object and that reflection is again reflected in the retina here. This normally happens when you open the eyes. You cannot stop it. This is one part of that. The other part of that, after the reflection, when it enters to retina and the focus point where the light is touching, then the optical nerves, it receives the information. So the optical nerve is receiving the information is the second part. And after it receives the information goes to brain, then that process is also natural. You cannot stop in between. Now in two places you can stop. One is with the reflection. If you block the reflection or change the reflection, you cannot see the object, so object is disappeared. You are getting me? Yes. So that is one part, outside. So there is no reflection on the object. The reflection is stopped with some means that we will discuss about how it is possible. And the second is, the optical nerve is not receiving the information. It means the mind is blocked. The mind is not alert there or not working with the sensation of the optical nerve. Then also you will not see. Actually, that is more important than outside thing. So in two ways it is possible. You see how this he is beautifully putting the reason there. Tad grahya shakti sthambe. This grahya shakti means the light reflected in the object. So because of reflection we see the object, so that is called grahya shakti. So you stop the grahya shakti. Now the process of reflection is stopped. Okay. And chakshu prakasha asamprayoge. Now you disconnect the chakshu. Chakshu, what we say, is optical nerve now. Okay. So disconnect the optical nerve's function and the light which is reflected inside. Chakshu is called indriya here. So this is second time. The chakshu prakasha asamprayoge andardhanam. You see here, you see the physics here. And nothing imaginary or miracle, nothing. It is possible, quite possible. And how it is possible, I will give you some examples. Now it is developed. This theory is developed. You know, some of the magicians, even 25, 30 years before, they used these techniques. In the magic, they tried it and somehow they could do something. That was connected to mind. They disappeared. The magician disappeared. But not because the first reason. The reflection was there, but he could block the mind of the viewers, the audience. So this is connected to the mind. It means the receptivity in the optical nerve is blocked with the technique of the magic that we say as magical techniques. So now the mind is changed. So for that they use all hypnotic techniques to block the mind, change the mind. They give some pictures and mind is one with that. Then you cannot see. And whatever we see in magic, so everything is connected to this. They block our mind and the hand movements and they as well practiced movements. So they do all the magics. If you understand how they do, there is no magic. Because you cannot see what is happening there, so it becomes magic. With the light, shade and shape and everything, yes, everything is blocked there. So this way it is possible. If you can change the mind, the optical nerves cannot receive the form, and what is there in the mind, you will see that outside, not the reflected object. It is possible by this way. By hypnotism it is possible. That is the theory they use for that. And now we see outside things. Outside things, the object is seen or the light is reflected in the object because there is some elements in the object which reflects the light. It is not receiving the light or it is not holding the light. The object has some quality that is reflecting. The glass reflects, mirror reflects. That is the reflection, and every object has some quality. Now, if you change the chemical of the reflection, you will not see the object. And this is used in fighter planes. Now they made fighter jets. First Russia made it, or maybe 20 years before. So the fighter jet is moving, but you will not see. They made some paint, and that paint is used. So that paint is not reflecting the light, it is observing the light. So you will not see. And after that, America also did. They got the technology and they also made many planes. Now China also has these planes. So there what they do, the technology is just a special paint which is not reflecting the light, that's all. So that object is not seen. Okay. Once it was established, now they made jacket of that, overcover. And now the musicians, they are using this jacket. So it is very thin, and if you use the jacket, the same thing, light is not reflected, you cannot see. Okay, that was up to 10 years before. Now again newly, and within 1 year or so, they made now South Korea, you can see in the YouTube, they made a cloth, something like cloth, like plastic cloth. And when the person covers with that, he is no more. He is not seen. And it is see-through. See-through means like glass. You can see the opposite side and everything. Just newly they made it. And after that, now again they made glass covers with that, because it's the same technology used. So with the glass cover, if you sit in that glass cover, the glass is like we can see through, but no person is seen there. So you see, this is the development. This is outside. So he knew this technology. I think they used this technology. So because it is there, they try to understand how it is possible and they used it. So tad grahya shakti sthambe. This is what we say as seeing. If it is not reflected, light is not reflected, you cannot see. So bake something. And now regarding yogi, you may say we need this jacket or the cover the South Korea made or the glass room, whatever. But yogis can change their skin. It's possible. When they practice yoga, one of our yogis, he tried to do that. Now still he is working on that. We can change the skin of the body. It's possible. If you change the food and you do some special pranayama meditation, it's possible you can change the skin. That is also possible. If you change the skin, if skin is not reflecting the light, it can be disappear. So that is the disappearing technique. So now two options. One is connected with outside objects and second is connected to optical nerves. And this optical nerve techniques is again used by yogi by his mental power. Because his thoughts are stronger than others' thoughts. Like the musician who shows the magic in front of you, his mind is stronger than your mind. Because he has the capacity to change your thoughts and give his idea on implanting on you so that you take it and you think what he says is right. Then just for a moment you believe in him and you are with his thought. That is what happened in hypnotism. In yoga and tantra and everywhere these hypnotic techniques are there. So this is possible with a yogi because his mind is strong with this gamma we learned yesterday, the gamma waves. So he can concentrate on his mind and he can control others' minds as well. So this is also possible. When he gave the suggestion, I want to disappear. So the people should not see me. I be disappeared. So this I be disappeared, this thought is reflected in others. So this is connected to optical nerves. Because the optical nerve means it is the information connected to brain. So what is happening in the brain is can affect in that way. So this is possible this way. You have many information about this. You can study. You can see long on the what I told you about the fighter planes, and then you know the techniques what they use, and then the cover the South Korea made. So we can see that. So this way Andardhanam is possible. Now the next one, he says, not only with the form, rupa, but also with the sound and other elements, touch, sound, taste, smell. So this is with the form, he disappeared. And with the sound also, he can disappear. So he is making the sound, but sound is not there. A smell is not there. And the touch is not there. You cannot touch him. Although he is there, but you cannot touch him. So it is also possible. Edena shabdadi andardhana muktam. Edena, by this, shabdadi andardhana muktam. The disappearance of sound and touch and taste or smell is also explained, uktam. In some texts, this sutra is omitted because the last sutra itself says the same thing. So this is actually one part of the last sentence of Vyasa Bhashya. Somebody misunderstood as a sutra here. So some texts, this sutra is also there. Teyadena shabdadi andardhana muktam. Because there the Bhashya says, by this other objects are solved, the other sound, touch, taste and everything is there. The same thing is happening there with this function. Okay, this is little hard for us because it takes much time to meditate on that and find all the technologies. But the previous one, it is easy. Parachitta jnanam. If you concentrate on your mind, it is possible you know others' mind. Now what is coming next is also easy for us. We can practice it. Sopakramam nirupakramam cha karma tatsamyamadaparanda jnanamarishthebhyo va. So, knowing death before death, aparanda jnana. Aparanda means death. So, death of the body. So, when this body is going to fall, you know that by this meditation, this samyama. The sutra says, Sopakramam nirupakramam cha karma. There are two types of karmas. It's connected to prarabdha only. Because by prarabdha, this body is alive. So, in that prarabdha, that is two types. That is, one is sopakramam. Sopakramam means which gives the fruit quickly. That is called sopakrama. Fast fructifying. And nirupakrama is slow fructifying. So this is two karmas. Fast fructifying and slow fructifying. So you must understand which karma is fast, which karma is slow. So that is, then you know the sequence of the karma, so then from where it starts and where it is going to end. And for this, Vyasa Bhashya gives two examples to understand this. Like a wet cloth, you fold the cloth and put it for drying. The folded cloth you are drying. Now it takes more time because it is folded. It takes more time. And another cloth, you spread it, expanded it, then it is also drying. So the second one will dry fast and first one will take more time. So this is the first one is nirupakrama and the second one is sopakrama, the fast drying and slow drying. And same thing with another example. If the firewood is wet, then it takes more time to burn. Okay? And if it is not wet, it is immediately burning. It's completely dried wood, firewood, then it burns immediately. So this is the karmas. You have to see which karma is performing now and how it is developing. So by seeing the develop, you can see. As for now, we are concerned. So we take one day life and categorize the karmas. They are all connected to prarabdha. Just for the understanding, we take its prarabdha. It's all fructifying karmas. And then understand where we are slow moving and where we are fast moving. You can see it. And if regarded to food, then the karma is fast moving. Because immediately you cook the food, you are hungry and eating it. And regarding money making, it is very fast. Because it is going to give the effect immediately. And regarding sadhana, you can see it is very slow. If no other work, you sit for sadhana. This is the karmas like. So then you know the developments, how it is going to happen. It will take more time. Tivra samvaiganam asannaha. Otherwise, there itself we categorized, no? Mridu, Madhya, Adimatra, and all the teeth categories. Then there are more categories on that. So this is like this. So we have so many karmas, sopakrama and nirupakrama. If we know that when one karma is started, the character of prarabdha, the nature of prarabdha is, prarabdha means the karma which is fructifying. It is giving the result. That karma is called prarabdha. The character of prarabdha is, it will give the result definitely with its own sequence. You cannot break the sequence of prarabdha, or you cannot stop it giving result. Both are not possible. That is the characteristics of prarabdha. Now you know some karma is started giving the effect, the result. So you take the sequence, then you know this is going to end by this time. Like you had some disease or some they cold or fever or something. So now cold is there. So you know this is because of my karma. You believe in that. And once it is there, it takes at least 1 week to come out of that. So for 1 week it is there. You know after 1 week it will go away. So this is called the span of karma. You started and there is an end and it is almost definite. So when you concentrate on that, you will see how the karma, from where it starts and where it ends. Then you know when you are going to die. It's possible. This way you calculate all the karmas, then you know this is my end. This is after that, nothing is seen. And this, many of the sadhakas, they experienced this. There are many examples. We also saw directly many sadhakas. They predicted their birth or death before maybe 1 month or 1 year. So the cases we remember, there was a Mahatma in Uttarakashi. It's like 8 years before. It's a new story. He was 102 years old when he passed away. So 1 month before, every day satsang in the ashram satsang is there, or he will attend the satsang, and other sadhakas, other swamis who live with him also attends. And one day, in the daytime, after meal, usually they sit outside and talking something, some jokes or something. He may tell his stories because he stayed there in Uttarakashi for more than 40 years. So he has many stories to tell. So he will open one story and some discussion, something is going on. And he is very free. So he said, you see, I want to leave the body. In our style, we say like that. I want to leave the body means I'm going to die. Then the other Swami said, no. You must wait to make century. Because we was nearing 100. So you must know, before century if you go, it is not good. So many years you lived, at least we have an example. So you wait for century. Okay, he told, okay. Then after century, I will leave. This is exactly happened. Swamiji knows that Swamiji also was there that time. And then, okay, century passed. All devotees came. There was a big function and then feast and everything. Hula hula and everything was there. And you know, in his century, the 100th birthday, he ate more than 10 laddus, not gulab jam. No. Rasagullas. Because he was from Bengal. So he ate everything and with full meal, nothing, because his stomach was something special. We used to joke with him. Okay, when you leave the body, you please give the stomach us. Because even that age, he could eat. There was no problem. So he ate all these things and everything was happy. Then everybody said, okay, anyway, it is 100 years. So you must show that 2 more years at least. So he said, okay, and we will see that. Then 1 year passed and second year. It means 102. So before his usual birthday, 1 month before, they make arrangements and call all the devotees. Then same thing he repeated. He said, you see, now I want to leave the body. The century is over, everything is over, you are all happy. Now I want to leave the body. So then they said, no, you must wait for the birthday. Because anyway, birthday, everybody is devotees and everybody will be here. From Bombay, Delhi, they have some devotees. So everybody will be here. So they will be happy if you leave body after birthday. So let it be there. So he admitted, okay, I will wait for the next birthday. Okay. Then birthday came, all devotees came, everybody came. So this was informed to devotees because Swamiji and what they think, he is joking. Sometimes he is just joke on some subject like that. So he is joking, that is what they thought. But he perfectly repeated it. You see, now I will not wait. Now I cannot wait. So no, you have to wait. Let us see what is happening. So then the daytime we all went for feast and it was Bhandara again there. And then the evening of that evening, they were sitting for meditation and bhajans in the ashram. So after bhajan and the first section of puja, then they went out to do the arati outside temple. Because temple is outside, little 20 meter away from the building. So just outside. So Swamiji was sitting in the asana there and he used to read Bhagavatam or something. So Bhagavata was there and the bhajan. He was sitting there and they left him there and they went to Arati. Arati mostly takes hardly 20-25 minutes. After Arati, when they came back, he's gone. You see how he could say that. Very relaxed, nothing, no disease, nothing was there. So he put hand on the Bhagavata and he's sitting like that, very cool. So he passed there. So it is possible. And that is, you see, he extended his life. The information was there before, and he gave up all his, because usually in the Uttarakashi they do, the old Mahasmas, when they feel like leaving the body, we say Samadhi. And when you say before Samadhi, we call it Pakka Samadhi. Pakka means real Samadhi. Otherwise, you die, that is normal die. That is also called Samadhi. But if before you inform, that is called Pakka Samadhi, because you know when you are going to leave the body. So he gave everything, his deposits, his clothes, whatever. He distributed everything. So it means he was ready. And another case, before that, maybe 5 years before that, one of our Swamis in Soma Ashram was in charge of ashram. The same thing happened with him also. He was also like 90, 92 years old. And the night, he told the sadhakas there in the ashram, you see, there were students, the Samskrita students were staying in the ashram. So he called them and told them, you see, today 2:30 in the morning, early in the morning, 2:30, you must come to my room. You must come to my room and read Bhagavad Gita. They asked why? Because I am going to leave my body. So they thought, so how it is possible? So okay, Swamiji is telling, we will try it. And he went to the bed, and usually he wake up at 2 o'clock, 2:30. So at 2 o'clock he woke up, and the students came, and they sat there, and he was sitting in the bed, and they were chanting the Gita. By 5 o'clock or 5:30, he left the body. So they were wondering, because he was sitting with the cloth, everything like this. He left the body, and then after some time there was no movement, so they could understand that. Then they called the doctor, because nearby there is hospital. They called the doctor, and it's gone. He said, like 20 years before, he died. No action, no reaction, no movements. So this is quite possible if you go deeper into your karmas. It's possible. There were many other stories, so only two, because I was there to see what happened. So I saw them, that is why I took these examples. Now, that's samyamat aparanta jnanam. Now there are other omens, what we say omens. Arishtibhyo va. He is giving another options. By the omens also, you know the death. Before that, how it is possible, we will discuss, because the time is over now. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudasyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate.